We're ready.
Welcome back to Elvis Fans Matter. And we got a few more questions we're going to answer here.
This is question week. Why do you look at me like that?
You don't know. Okay. This is question week. All week.
Oh,
I mean, we're not going to shut this off. If you can bear with us, we're going to go with the whole week.
All right. Let's see. What are your thoughts and opinions on someone has said that Elvis had a woman that was a spiritual advisor? Do you ever recall him having a spiritual advisor or psychic that he did he?
No.
down mama? Who was that down?
Who?
I think it was,
No. Look, only one he had that, that divided him in him was Larry Geller, as far as, certain spiritual things.
that was the thing that was self-realization.
Yeah,
That it was like a,
that was, that's where you get to,
Right.
yeah, whatever.
silly.
No, I advised him a few times, but he didn't pay no heed
Well,
to
the
it.
reason that they asked, they said there was there's a man and they weren't sure of his name that was claiming that he owns handwritten letters that Elvis supposedly wrote to this woman back and forth, and she was his spiritual advisor, and that he supposedly wrote these letters to this lady, and they just wondered if you knew anything, about
Well,
that.
first of all, I don't believe that, but
But it's nothing
people-
that you know about.
nothing that I know about at all. No, he was not a big writer.
No, he was.
He didn't
wasn't,
like
you're right.
writing letters much at all, so that theory is way out.
Left field.
Left field.
Yeah.
He liked to. Elvis was open to anything,
Yeah,
very open-minded
Spiritual
about everything.
and religious.
And he liked to study and learn different things, whether he believed, believed in it or not. He would listen to certain
Right.
things and he made up his own mind. Elvis was Jesus Christ, God, and that's what he believed in. He was not. He wasn't, way out and. I'm
He
not
liked-
saying that that's way out.
But
left
he
field.
wasn't one that was open to the gods of this or the gods of. His belief was God and Jesus.
Yes,
That God's our
yes.
heavenly Father, Jesus is our
Right,
Savior, and that's.
right.
But he was open to
Other
studying
religions,
other
yeah.
religions.
Yeah, he was open to all religions. He liked to learn and
I
study
guess
about.
like any human being,
Yeah, curious.
He was curious, and maybe he was searching. That's a word you could say. He was searching for something.
Well, I've
other
read
than-
stuff on other religions
Everybody,
out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
Everybody does.
I do. I do the
We've
same
we've
thing,
talked
yeah.
with him a lot of
And,
times about different religions and
I took a
different
philosophy
cultures
course. Took a philosophy course one time, and that was a part of it. Was we learned about
Yeah,
other religions? So
right.
we learned about the Jewish faith. We learned about the Muslim faith. We learned about Buddha. We learned about different things,
Right.
and it wasn't to turn us. It was just to open our minds to other
yeah.
other beliefs. And they
And to
were.
see what other
it was
people
interesting.
believed.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't remember him.
I was studying Buddha up until I got to looking like him, so I decided I better give it up.
I don't remember him having eyes like yours, though.
Shut up.
He didn't have the marble eyes.
You go have
Buddha's eyes
some.
were more like this.
Yeah,
Your eyes were like
guess what yours is gonna look like?
swollen. That'd be after the fight.
All right. Here's another one, and it may kind of be touchy or what, but
If it's touchy,
well.
okay, go ahead.
Was it anything that either of you ever heard of or knew. Somebody said that they had heard that Priscilla and Sonny were accused of having an affair. Did y'all ever hear of them being accused of that, or anything going along?
I never heard that.
No, I've never
Okay.
heard that.
No.
Don't believe it. And
I don't believe
think
that.
So. You know,
No.
first of all, you know, if Elvis even got a hint or something like that, you know, Sonny wouldn't have been there.
Right, right.
Like,
I mean,
like
after
I had
the fact.
said before, you know, that was understood between
Yeah.
everybody. He didn't fool with another man's girlfriend, and he didn't fool with their wives.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, you
That
know,
was just it.
if it was, you know, you was out.
Well, I mean, even after the fact, after Priscilla was gone and
No.
they weren't married anymore, I mean, you never
It's-
heard of
They
that.
wouldn't
No,
have done
no.
that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have.
Even, yeah.
And not stayed with it, not stayed associated with Elvis.
Right.
Nobody would have done that.
I didn't think so, but it was.
No.
I've had the question 2 or 3 times, different people,
Yeah.
and I said, well, I mean,
No.
it doesn't hurt to ask.
No. No, it's question's fine. It's just, you know.
All right. Another one says there was a concert in 1974, and she says that on there it was Priscilla and Lisa were there, and that there was a woman near them named Sheila. That it sounds like Elvis introduced her as his girlfriend and said, "Hold up your ring." And it says she was sitting next to Priscilla and Lisa, and it says, but at that time in 74, was he not with Linda Thompson? Did y'all, other than Sheila Ryan, did y'all know
I didn't know
a
another
Sheila?
I knew Sheila Ryan, but I didn't know another Sheila.
Okay.
Did you, Billy? I don't.
Not that I can remember.
I mean, wasn't he with Linda Thompson in 74?
Yeah, 74.
Yeah,
Okay.
Elvis. You know how.
Well, I mean, different people. I'm not. Yeah,
He,
I mean,
he dated,
I would
and
know.
Linda knows too.
Yeah.
But he dated sometimes.
Oh, yeah, she was aware of it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda was very
Elvis, you
aware.
know, he might have, Linda may have been, you know, out of town or something like that, and he might have had one of these.
Somebody that was
Yeah.
his date or something, but
Yeah.
it's just not what you recall. I just,
No.
when they said that, he said, you know, hold up your ring that I gave you, I just thought that was, but I mean, he gave gifts and did,
He
so
did.
I just didn't.
He did.
Well, he.
That's not unusual to me for him to say
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Because, I mean, he, you know.
No, did Priscilla go to and take Lisa to his
I figure that
concerts?
was probably in Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas, yeah.
Even after they weren't together, she.
Oh,
might,
I don't know.
I don't
I mean,
know.
this is saying in 1974, so I mean they weren't together.
It's
But it
possible.
said that on the video it appeared to be Priscilla and Lisa, and then this Sheila lady wasn't far from them. That he introduced her, so I just.
Well,
you
you know, I know they went to Vegas to see him. If Lisa wanted to see him, you know, go and see him, he probably
Would have
made arrangements with Priscilla to do it.
do
But
it. Okay.
that didn't mean he wasn't with somebody else.
Right,
you know.
yeah.
That's just Elvis.
All right. What years did Billy work at Graceland when it first opened? After Elvis had passed, and it became. I always say a museum. To me, that's what it is. But
Not
When did
too
I
long.
work there?
Yeah. When it first
like
opened.
when it first opened, what years did you work there?
From 82 to 84.
Okay. So were you there when it first opened?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. We have another one that's tell the story about the guys getting the badges. Do you want to do that on a separate video?
Badges?
Badger.
Yeah,
We
your
don't need no
badges.
stinking badges.
Do you want to do that on a separate video by itself? It just
Yeah,
longer.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
But I will answer it, you know.
Yeah. Here's one that says were Billy and Joe at Graceland in 1960 when Elvis threw the party for Holiday on Ice?
Yes.
Yes.
We
We
went,
went with him.
Yeah. We went with him. It was, you know,
Sure
a lot
did.
of fun. We had
Yeah.
he knew a couple of the skaters. That was,
Okay.
you know, the female skaters, naturally.
Mhm.
Uh,
One went back with us I remember in the limousine,
Nancy Czar was one.
One's name
Okay.
something Marino or something like that.
I don't know.
Her last name, but I remember her. We waited. We pulled around and waited, and
We
she
used to
came
call
out.
her, Nancy Czar, the skating star. Had a little nickname,
It says, how soon after Elvis passed away did all the guys get to work? I mean, like after he passed away, I'm sure there was a lot. What they mean is there were things to do and get settled. How long did you get to work, or how long were y'all at Graceland before you left and everybody went their separate ways?
Elvis
left,
passed in August. We left in December.
December, yeah.
The same year. We just
Same year.
we weren't asked to leave.
77.
We just decided to leave. Billy didn't.
You think?
Yeah. Billy, it was not the same. It was very depressing.
And I was having,
Billy was having trouble accepting all that and working around.
I can see that.
So
you just needed to.
Yeah, we
to
just needed to go.
Kind of start over and move on because you couldn't
We
change
did.
it. The outcome was still the same. So.
We were there until we were there when they brought his mother out.
Mm-hmm.
And then in December, Billy just said, I think I'm going to go to Uncle Vernon and just tell him I'm going to, leave. I just can't really take it up, anymore. It's not the same, and it wasn't. It was real depressing. Some of the guys stayed for a while, but most of them didn't stay long. They left.
Well,
I want to say too. Charlie left and went to Sevierville or wherever it was. He did the thing. He went up there. But I had said in one of the videos that he never married.
Gatlinburg?
Yeah. But what I meant was he never married as long as he was with Elvis. He did later
you did
on.
want to bring that up from the last
He
video.
did later on get married, and he lived up there around Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
All right. We'll hit a couple more and then wrap it up. What was each of your favorite cities that you got to visit when you were on tour with Elvis?
Wasn't there long enough to really tell you.
We went in the back door, came out the back door, got on the plane. What I really liked, I liked when we went to Omaha.
Yeah.
And I liked when we went to the one in Maine.
Yeah.
When we went there, we went out with.
He was there for more than a
More than
a
a
day.
night.
Mm-hmm.
I know in Nebraska, with Lincoln, I guess that's what it
Lincoln.
is.
Mm-hmm.
We went to, they had, the Nebraska football team, the Cornhuskers.
Cornhuskers, yeah.
I think that's who it is. And we were real close to where the stadium was.
We went to the stadium.
Me and Joe walked down to to see it and all,
Yeah.
and then in
Omaha,
Boston,
Nebraska.
we got to go out and eat at a couple of the restaurants.
And there was another place that I loved, and it was Florida. Was it Jacksonville?
Mhm.
Jacksonville. It's beautiful down there. It was.
We had time to actually get to
Get out.
go out
Get out.
and see it. Most of the time, no.
Most of the time
in and out,
Right.
before you even
The way the schedule that we had is we would go to the hotel, leave the hotel, go to the show. All your clothes everything had to be loaded on the plane. We would leave the show, go straight to the plane, fly to another city, and do the whole thing over again. So it was like boom, 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 right after one thing, right after the other.
Yeah.
But it was very exciting.
It
It
was it.
was something else.
I know we stayed in one place
took a bus.
I cannot remember what it was, but some of the guys wanted to play softball, so we went to,
Yep, I remember that
went to
too.
a field.
Uh-huh.
We played some softball together.
Sure did.
And that's once again, we had a layover, I think a couple of days, so we got to do that.
And sometimes we would go to he'd have a concert in one city, and if he had another one that was very close, we would take a big bus and go. Remember that when he would
Instead of the plane or whatever, you just take the
he would go to that one and stay at the hotel, then come back.
Well, he
to
would
the
have
plane.
one. He'd have one show in one little city, and then another city was real close.
Yeah.
And, he'd have a show there, so we'd take the
Instead
bus.
of taking the plane and you know doing all that, we'd
you
go on the
wouldn't even
bus.
get up. You'd have to come
Yeah.
all the way down. You know,
But,
so close.
Yeah.
But
We'll have to talk about being on the plane. The plane was unreal. It was like a house in the sky.
yeah,
We usually had that sit in that front booth. When you come in, it would be on the left, the little and the couch on the right hand side. When you come in, we would sit there, and me and Billy and Dick and Sam played cards.
yeah.
Constantly,
Then you had the
constantly.
dining room table.
Yeah. Then they had the big conference table in the middle of the plane, and they had a little bunk thing. Remember that little bunk thing that had the curtain back in there, in the back of the dining room,
yeah.
And then Elvis's bedroom and all back in there. But they had couches, and I mean it was.
Of course, anybody seen the plane knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It was.
But we usually sit in that first booth. I know we played cards all the way to Hawaii and back. Most every trip that we went on that was going to take very long, we played. That's all we did. Sometimes we'd have to wait for Billy because Elvis would get him to come back and talk for a little bit, but usually he rested after a show because he was exhausted. So, but there was a great crew on that plane too.
It was, yeah.
Ron and Jim and Carol and Elwood.
Good. Jim Manning,
Mm-hmm.
Ron Strauss, Elwood David
Uh-huh.
with the crew for the plane.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right. One last question on this one, and I'm asking it because it goes along with that same vibe. It says, did the Memphis Mafia, the group, basically wives and Mafia, did you go your separate ways after you had been on the road, and just get back together and meet at your next location or the next tour dates, like when it was over, or did everybody kind of go to their own families and spend time, or were y'all still just working?
Some of them that lived in California or places did go,
Yeah.
but us.
It was year round.
Yeah, 24/7.
When I
You're
went,
right.
it was for good.
It was for good. When you left, it was
Yeah.
bye. It was out.
We
But-
were always, but as a group, so many of them had homes in Memphis because that was the base of where he stayed, because he didn't have a home except for the Palm Springs house. He didn't have a home in California during the touring times, I don't think. We didn't ever. And we would go to Palm Springs a lot of times, but most of the time the basic group and all the younger guys and
Well, let's say, the ones that did live in California or wherever.
most of the ones that left
About how much time would they get if they did leave to go home? Was it a short time?
a month or so.
A month or so,
maybe
and
a
then
month.
they were.
Yeah.
That was basically Joe, and because Joe and his girlfriend then, Shirley, they weren't there at the house at Graceland that much. And Lamar would go to Nashville,
Okay.
and the other guys,
The rest of them mostly were located here.
Here.
stayed around.
Okay.
Stayed in Memphis.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap
How's
that?
up.
Wrap it up.
That'll wrap up this session. Those
That's
were
a wrap.
just questions that were all kind of based together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you sure you want to wrap it up?
yeah, we can wrap this one up and go on because I have a few more
You sure?
questions, but I think that they would be better fit
I mean,
for
you're really
another
sure.
I'm positive.
How about you? You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Well,
Sure.
what do we always say?
Elvis fans matter.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.